Danton?
What is it, Amy?
Time for me to go. Be careful.
If you need a place to hide, you can always come back here.
I wish I could put my feet up on something, but now isn't the time. Looks like some kind of storage hatch. It's empty. That's a lot of books. It rivals Nelson's collection. I haven't got time for reading right now. Excuse me.
What?
I'll just be on my way.
Alrighty. Hey, where did you find that?
Over near Sector 67, do you know anything about it? I noticed the logo on the coin was the same as on this train.
It's the logo for South Coast Transit. They own this railroad along with the public transportation system in the city. That there is a subway token. Before the blast, people would use those to ride the train underneath the city.
Really? I had no idea there was an underground train in the city.
Doesn't surprise me. Almost all the stations collapsed after the blast. There's only one left standing.
Where can I find it?
It's not too far from the quarantine zone. Just head up Roth Avenue and keep your eye out for the Wallies. The station is right next to it. Be careful down there. There's a whole network of tunnels. Don't want you to get lost.
Don't worry, I'm not planning on wandering around any tunnel mazes. It's blank. I'm sure this was a nice-looking place at one point. I wonder if this person died trying to escape the quarantine zone. I can just see the wall that's separating the rest of the city from the quarantine zone. No thanks. I think Wally's used to be a pretty famous department store. I vaguely remember Mom and Dad talking about it. The letter L looks like it's pretty close to falling off. I can't reach it from down here. That did it. This thing survived being shot and falling. I'd say it's pretty sturdy. Kind of big to be lugging around too much, though. I can't think of anything I could do with that. I can't see any way in from here. It's in surprisingly good condition. I'm not sure I can see anything useful to do there. I never knew about these stations. It's surprising that the aristocracy hasn't sealed it off. Nothing useful that I can see. It's just hanging there. That's kind of grotesque. I'd really rather not touch it. How on earth did this get down here? I can't reach it. My trusty crossbow. It's out of ammo right now. It's not every day you get to see an underground river. The damage from the blast really did a number on this station. It's too far to jump, and it doesn't look fit for swimming. There's a ton of debris in there and who knows what else. I'll need to find another way across. There, that should work. Looks like that's the way in. It's stuck. Well, it accepted my token. Great. Another collapse. I'm glad this didn't decide to collapse 5 minutes later. There's no way I'm going to be able to get through there. Creepy. Those are some nice gloves it's got on, though. It's just out of reach. Handy to know where you are. Formerly part of the ceiling, from the looks of things. Nice dress. I wonder when that style was last in fashion. I don't think it's fit to be worn. Now there's an interesting outfit. Not my style. It's wearing the tattered remains of some kind of sports uniform. These clothes would probably fall apart if I touched them. It's tangled up too tightly to undo by hand. A nice piece of rope and a freed mannequin. 2 birds with 1 stone. Slightly frayed in some places, but overall it should hold up. Looks like this person was crushed by the ceiling. What an awful end. Too late to help now. Doesn't look like there's anything useful on the body either. Still on the rack, though not in very good shape. Nothing on there worth taking. Appliances. Seems to be full of fishing equipment. I can't get to anything inside. The display case is sealed. An old shop vac. I haven't seen one in ages. It won't have any parts I need. These things are pretty useless. I don't see how I can use that there. Not surprisingly, it's empty. I'm going to need something to open up the side if I want to scavenge for parts. I don't see how I can use that here. This isn't in as good a condition as I thought. Only useful part in here is this fuse. I might as well hang on to it. It's still in relatively good condition. Doesn't look like they're even worth examining for parts. These don't look to be in very good condition. I can't reach inside the display case. I don't see how I can use that there. I'm not sure how I can use those things together. I don't see how I can use that there. I'll bet these are the controls for the elevator, assuming they still work. Dead, although I might be able to take a look inside and get it working again. There, that wasn't so tough. Poking around in there with my fingers probably isn't the best idea. I've already gotten it open. A piece of metal shrapnel with a very sharp edge. These don't look too complex. It just looks like the main fuse is blown. I sure hope this works. The elevator car looks to be stuck between floors. Poking around in there with my fingers probably isn't the best idea. These don't look too complex. It just looks like the main fuse is blown. Here goes nothing. Looks like that's my next destination. I'm guessing this used to support the structure before it collapsed. A bunch of old office furniture, from the look of it. There's nothing worth salvaging here. A bunch of old office furniture, from the look of it. There's nothing worth salvaging here. That pile of rubble forms a ramp up to the opening. If I could get up there, I'd be able to climb it. It's way too high for me to reach. There's nothing worth salvaging here. A bunch of old office furniture, from the look of it. There's nothing worth salvaging here. It's way too high for me to reach. I don't see how I can use that there. Not a bad idea, but I can't loop the rope around the girder from down here. I'm guessing this used to support the structure before it collapsed. It's way too high for me to reach. I'm not sure how I can use those things together. I don't think I can load that into the crossbow. My trusty crossbow. It's out of ammo right now. If only it were that easy. A bunch of old office furniture, from the look of it. Not exactly the most convenient way to travel, but it's something. Creepy. Those are some nice gloves it's got on, though. They're not in bad shape. Won't be much use if I need to protect my hands, though. There's a trapdoor at the top of these stairs, but it seems to be locked from the other side. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I don't think I'll be needing the vacuum cleaner. I feel kinda bad about vandalizing this place, but it's not like anyone will notice. These won't help any. They're not made of rubber. Not a bad idea. They say necessity is the mother of invention. The rubble might be unstable. I don't want to risk causing a collapse. Whew, that was more of a climb than I anticipated. What is this place? It doesn't look as intimidating from all the way over here. Reminds me of the one in the rebel hideout. There's nothing on it. I wonder if there was once a raven in there. There's nothing inside except an old birdcage liner. I'd rather not touch it. Messy. Someone should really clean this place up. I don't need them. A sketch of the Reaper. Lots of little design notes written around the sides. I wouldn't want to ruin the drawing. Those look to be mostly medical textbooks. I haven't got time for reading now. Reminds me of an old dress-up doll I used to have when I was a kid. I had something like this when I was a kid, a jar of dirt where bugs lived. It's too high to reach. I haven't got time for reading now. Those look to be mostly medical textbooks. I guess this is the Reaper's base of operations. I guess this is the Reaper's base of operations. Aha! Just what I thought. They're mechanical. Anatomy, infectious diseases, biology, quite a collection. These look like security monitors. What are they doing here? Aha! Just what I thought. They're mechanical. Full of lots of unmarked bottles. I wonder what they're for. Full of lots of unmarked bottles. I wonder what they're for. These look like security monitors. What are they doing here? Full of lots of unmarked bottles.
Ah, Amy Willard, you found me. I was hoping you would.
How did you...
I realize you probably have many questions. I can give you all the answers you need, but first, allow me to make myself more presentable.
So you are human.
Yes, I'm sorry to disappoint you if you were expecting more.
I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest. You told me you were a doctor.
Yes, Dr. Edwin Aquino, at your service. I was once the leader of the Green Lung vaccine development team, but after learning about their vaccine distribution, or lack thereof, that quickly changed.
Hang on, you knew about the vaccine hoarding? Why didn't you tell anyone?
That would have started violent riots. It's not fair to begin a civil war when it would end without a cure for the illness. I wanted to say something. It hurt not to, but the time wasn't right.
You didn't think the people deserved to know?
They do, and they will. But not while we only have a vaccine and not a cure. With a permanent cure, the aristocracy's hoarding becomes irrelevant, and the focus will be on eradicating the disease.
I guess that makes sense. Why the mechanical ravens? What do they do?
Rather clever little inventions, wouldn't you say? They have video transmitters in their eyes and audio transmitters in their beaks. I use them as scouts, since I can control them remotely.
Did you make them?
No, someone else did, a long time ago. In any case, they've served me quite well, at least the ones that haven't broken. As I suspected, there's a hobby shop which has remained mostly intact further in the city, and I can see that they have several model airplanes.
You've been following me with your birds. Why am I of such interest to you?
You did a lottery job for the Ministry of Energy.
That's right. What of it?
You've got the disease. You're fighting to survive. You're clever and resourceful. Exactly what I need.
Exactly what do you need?
After I left the Ministry of Medicine, I began my attempts at developing a permanent cure for green lung. It was a long process, which took over 10 years, but just last month, I had a breakthrough and was able to make this.
Is that?
Yes, this is the cure for green lung. I've been testing it and it seems to work, but I need to be certain. Aside from that, I don't have the information necessary to mass produce the cure, though I suspect Tiberius keeps it somewhere in the Ministry of Energy.
So what is it you need from me?
We're both fugitives, Amy. I can't put myself at risk by going to the places I need to. If I'm killed or captured, my research will have all been for nothing. You can clearly take care of yourself. I saw how you handled things at Rockwall Prison and Willowdale Plaza.
You helped me out both of those times.
I merely provided some assistance. Your survival was your own doing. Now I realize it's a bit much to ask, but your help would be incredibly valuable, not just to me, but to the future of humanity.
It's not really much to ask. I owe you my life, after all.
Thank you, Amy. I appreciate it. The main thing I need is to find out where Tiberius is keeping my research on mass production. At some point, I'll also need a subject to test the cure on, so I can be absolutely sure it works. Do you have any questions?
Why do you dress like that?
Intimidation, mainly. The work I do is not exactly looked upon favorably by the government, so I had to come up with a way to make sure I was left alone. The costume is just to make sure anyone who might happen to see me is scared off.
So you knew of the rumors about the Reaper and decided to become him yourself?
No, I'm the one who started them. Creating the image of death personified seemed a natural deterrent for anyone who might get too close. Thankfully, the rumors seem to have spread rather quickly over the years.
You aren't kidding. There's a whole cult dedicated to worshiping you.
Ah, yes, I know of them. An extreme example, but I can't deny it helps my work.
How can we find the mass production information?
Ideally, I could use my ravens to go in and locate it, but I only have 3 working ones left. And as you're well aware, Tiberius's tower is huge. It would take way too long for only 3 ravens to scan the entire place without being detected.
What about your daughter?
Of course.
Who did you say made these?
A friend in the Ministry of Knowledge, but that was ages ago. I know very little about their design.
It isn't too complex, actually. I can fix them for you, no problem.
You can?
Sure. See this bit here? That's the servo, the part that controls the wings. It's worn out, so I just need to replace it with a new one.
Are those common? Would we be able to find one or more in the city?
Well, I learned about them from working on toy airplanes that my friend had when we were kids. If we could find some, we'd be in business.
I wonder. Yes, excellent. As I suspected, there's a hobby shop which has remained mostly intact further in the city, and I can see that they have several model airplanes.
Great, I'll go get them and fix your ravens in no time.
Yes, but the store is located in the quarantine zone.
So, I have nothing to worry about. I'm already infected.
You contracting green lung isn't my concern. It's how you're going to get back out. The quarantine zone is designed to keep people from escaping.
If I can find a way in, I'll just have to find a way out, won't I?
Fine. While you're there, see if you can bring someone back with you. Someone who has been quarantined will make an ideal subject to test the cure on.
I'll see what I can do.
Good. Take this then.
What is it?
A two-way communicator. They used to call them walkie-talkies. We can use them to stay connected while you're in there.
Can you tell me anything about Tiberius?
Quite a bit. I've known him for a very long time. Since before the bombs, in fact. Was there anything specific you wanted to know?
What was Tiberius like before the bombs?
He was the director of the Ministry of Energy. Of course, back then he wasn't calling himself Tiberius. He was just Julian. After society collapsed, he took the initiative to reform and establish the aristocracy. His love for history led him to adopt the alias of Tiberius, as well as insisting the other aristocrats take the name of ancient Roman emperors.
Why does he wear that awful mask?
Anonymity. He felt government leaders are more respected as an institution rather than as people. I can't deny that this approach works extremely well.
Was he always so evil?
I wouldn't call him that. Manipulative, yes. Ruthless, undoubtedly. But not evil. He suffered immense trauma on the day the bombs fell.
Everyone did. Not all of us had the wealth to recover so easily.
Tiberius lost both his wife and unborn child that day. Wealth or not, that hits a man hard. It left him quite mentally unstable, to be honest. His determination to rebuild society was rooted in trying to cope with his loss. In a way, I felt pity for him. Perhaps too much.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing. Never mind.
Strange for him to have a soothsayer for an assistant. How is he qualified?
Superstition is a very powerful force. I'm living proof of that. I never had many dealings with the soothsayer, but I believe he came from somewhere outside the city. Tiberius finds comfort in being able to have a channel to the supposed other side. While I don't share his beliefs, I can't particularly fault him for having them.
That's all for now.
Fair enough.
I'll just get to it then.
Good luck, Amy. By the way, that doorway back there will allow you to get up and down the tower much easier than climbing.